Evening, gentlemen and ladies. Wow, what an eventful day. What an eventful day. The Ethereum. It seemed like virtually every time Ethereum had a slowdown, it was always just going to be a matter of continuation, but eventually that does end. So the threat of the head and shoulders dissipated. We had this really low volatility period here, and I was observing that. And then when it started to move up off that low volatility period, it was almost essential for the head and shoulders pattern that I'm illustrating here. Let's take that line away. It was almost essential for the head and shoulders pattern that was potentially a threat here, which I've still left the lines on historically, that the move should be down from that. When it went up, then paused, and then started moving further up, this was then shifting us from a reversal pattern to a continuation pattern. Generally, we bias to continuation. We don't look to trade reversal, but I just don't want to go short Ethereum ever, but I would have got out of longs, and I did get out of longs, only to rebuy them back. That means you miss a bit of the growth because you're getting out over here and then you're buying back a little higher up. But that was happy rewards. I went to bed at 4 in the morning then, or after 4, having rebought back into Ethereum after it became more clear to me that it was going to be a continuation to the upside, aka this draw here that I've drawn with these lines. And wow, what a reward we got. By the time I actually got up, it was already in one of the pullbacks, having gone and touched 15 on some exchanges. This is the Coinbase exchange, but I think on Poly it had gone to 15. And then it continued to grind up. Note these grind lines. This is a warning sign. So this is very short time frame charting, guys. Very short time frame charting. So there's risks here, but you've got to be very active if you're going to be very aware of these. So we had a grind line. Typically, grind lines must be broken, and we were squeezing across the top. And there you go. That's the sell-off that we've now had. So this is Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Bitcoin itself has been absolutely plummeting as well. So we've got a right little watch. And this is why it's not really about being right or wrong. It's about being aware that at some points things will sell off. So a couple of times maybe I had to get out because there was sell-off risk and it didn't sell off. This is what we're defending ourselves against, because the sell-off moves can be brutal and very sudden. This could be the end of it. This could be a hammer, and that could be the end of it for both Ethereum and for the Bitcoin, which this is the measure against the USD at the moment. But in terms of this setup, it was continuation, another continuation. Note how the target got made nicely, went into continuation. The first continuation fail, runs the funnel. Early warning, we're in trouble. You've actually had a good quality continuation fail. So let's just show you that on shorter time frames, and that people can understand this, what I'm about. I don't know whether things are going to go up or down all the time. I can just balance or probabilities assess. You get your first warning when it takes too long. The time stops out. You'll have to do a program to realize how we calculate a time stop. But the time stopped out, hadn't made target, and then runs the funnel. This level here, that's your warning that it's going to spill. Here's a massive down leg, and then you get the rising wedge. So I felt all along here during this is continuation to downside now, and you get another level. Look at that target, and now we're hammering here. So it could well base out here. So it's too late to react now. You can't chase momentum in this game, guys. You have to be a little bit before. That's why I'm looking early, and sometimes we're off the market and we have to get back in a little bit less cheaply. But then we're getting into other opportunities as well. So that's Bitcoin USD. In fact, during this period, literally this last bit, Tether was your best place to be. And it's rare that we want to be in Fiat. But essentially both Bitcoin was selling off and Ethereum was selling off relative to Bitcoin. That's now happening and it's bouncing. So it's always going to be a slightly more high volatile. What do we most want to see for Ethereum to be bullish again? We want it to come up and make an almost as high as that high and a second impulse and give us a nice bigger time frame continuation pattern again. So that's what we want to see for the longs. So I'm thinking of my good friend there, Crypto, who'll be talking, and I expect he'll have been very excited. I haven't had time to catch up with some of his vids, but definitely worth a follow. Go check Crypto out. He'll be very excited and telling you all about it. That's quite a strong rejection now. So Ethereum already looking like it might be shaking it off. It's had a sell-off. You do your fib level. Now, because I do HVF methods, I know where I feel the most significant point is. So I would do a fib from here, typically from the low 3, which is the beginning of the move, that low 3 there, and I would pull it through. So we've already got a lot of fibs on here, so we pull it through that 100% at that top line. So we've had a 38.2% dip on that impulsive break. We've had that already. Now it's rushing back up and it's going straight for the 76. So this is really quite strong. So what might happen is it'll calm down. This is high vol at the moment. You've got to understand that. This is very high volatility, chucking it around up and down. And you can burn a lot of credit and a lot of Bitcoin by jumping in out of Ethereum, chasing the move. You know, panic selling on down here and then panic buying back in up here, and each time losing a lot of margin and just churning your account lower in terms of overall Ethereum holding. Let it settle. It shouldn't go straight and run through there. It'll top out somewhere. If it's continuation and bullish, it'll top out before running that high. Give us a nice little pullback, and you can then look to buy on the next dip. There'll be another dip, but it'll be maybe a little less scary than this. In other words, the volatility starts ironing out. It starts setting up the next move for the next leg up. And that's what's been great about this Ethereum. He has legged up and up and up. For some accounts, just being net long Ethereum, because it's been so strong, and not watching the charts actually would have given most people the most amount of money. I've probably made about 20% less by having been active. But the difference means I've been defensive at key moments where I thought there could have been troubles. As you can see, looking live, already coming back down on this. So I wouldn't expect this bounce to just run you straight through this high. This could bottom, churn. It could make another hammer with an even deeper tail, possibly. Who knows what it can do? But I think we need it all to calm down a bit and get a nice little second loop. So this is what we'd want. This is for the bullish case. We'll also be vigilant for further bearish setup. And this is ideally what we want. We get something like that. That's a continuation, a lovely continuation. This will serve all the Ethereum bulls very happy days and out. And that's what your play will look like. So yeah, that's a little bit on that. And then one thing, I just got a couple of emails, people on maybe fully understanding what I'm trying to achieve on the channel here. This is a free channel. No one's paying me anything for it. I welcome a donation if you've made some money at some point. If you do, if you don't, I've added something, given an email someone gave me to that, which will go into all my YouTubes. Let me just make this clear. If you go to sleep and you're in a short time frame trade and I put out an update and you're not there to get it and you lose money, it's going to be on your own head. Nothing I say should be seen as advice for your activities. I have no knowledge of your circumstances, whether you're managing your dad's money or somebody else's, as some people have said, or I'm also not a regulated entity, so I can't give advice legally in anybody's country. I'm talking about how I see the market and how I will be playing it. If you choose to emulate me, that's your business. Own your own decisions. If you think I'm inaccurate on something, do your own thing. Don't follow something that you don't believe in. And when you win, they're yours and your successes. I require nothing from you. I'm delighted for you if you make a winning because of a view that I had that you happen to agree with, but you own that view if you take it on. If you elect to lose and you get out of Ethereum on your dad's money and then you have to get in a little higher up and your butt hurts about it, I'm afraid this is a probability game, and I value not being on risk at uncertain times. If that doesn't fall in line with your line of thinking, then leave it. If you want to be passive, in many ways that'll serve you very well in an expanding market. I just happen to believe that being able to do relative assessment and to get into the best runners, which is one of the reasons why I'm spending a lot of time talking about Ethereum, because we've been in it a lot. Just because I'm saying, hey, it's a dangerous point right now, doesn't mean I'm a bear Ethereum. I'm talking about this one because I'm in it. And we've been in it since $46, which wasn't actually that very long ago. Anyway, so if you're engaging on short time frames, bear in mind you may have to see it through. I was up until 4 this morning to make sure I made my mind up what was going on with Ethereum, and that's when it decided to start popping up, and I said this is going to go up. That's why I was able to catch that. If you, it's a full-on commitment if you're going to be active on your management of your trading. So just please respect that and understand that. And this activity is generally not necessary for everyone. If you're working a day job, you can't be up until the whole night through till 4 in the morning. You haven't got other things to work on, etc. I'm very fortunate. I live my own life. I'm my own boss. I manage my own money and I run my own business, and I can do whatever the hell I like. And some people aren't in that position, and they should make their decisions accordingly. So good luck. Enjoy the learning. I'll enjoy the sharing. Let's keep a good energy in the channel. Own your own outcomes, in terms of whatever you do. I will be inaccurate and accurate to certain measures. I will take myself out of trades if I feel uncertain, because these markets are moving a lot, because I am moving a substantial sum in and out of this. I'm not playing with a couple of Bitcoin here. I'm certainly going to play defense the way I see it and the way I feel it needs to be. And if that means I give up a little bit here and there, that's going to be my game. If it's not your game and you just want to be net long and you want to, you got your 1 Bitcoin's worth of Ethereum, be my guest, park it up. I think Ethereum has a good chance of doing $1,000. I aim to get most of that, and in fact more, by virtue of switching occasionally when it's weak into others. But, that's going to, then maybe you should just do that. So that's my minor, and I don't want to call it a rant. It's far from a rant. People don't want to hear people ranting, but that's my just take. Get it straight. I'm getting emails from some people that maybe just don't understand the spirit of what we're looking at. Apart from that, I wanted to show you one other thing that I find interesting. So we gave you a technical take on Bitcoin. Now, Bitshares I quite like, guys. So there's your little head up. I mentioned it on my line. It's broadening out a little bit. I think we've got space for a down leg here. Hear what I'm saying. Also, that's the other thing. Listen to what I'm saying. My time frame might not be your time frame. Doesn't help to a long-term trader starts following a short-term trader or a medium-term trader. We are looking at a 5-minute chart here, but I think there's a chance of 2x here coming for this pattern. So when this one breaks, I think this could give in quite a short time frame. Remember, this is a 5-minute chart. I think we can get a big geometry from here down to here, projected somewhere from the middle here. This pattern is not finished forming. This is on Bitshares. So I think we could get a down leg. We could fall out of this and have a little low. If you can, let me not say you, as a trader, I will find value, and I have already bought at the low 11s, and I'm happy with that. I was lucky enough to actually catch some more on this wick at 11.3s, not on Poly, clearly, because I don't think they made 11.3. No, they did. Some 11.3s on that dip down there. I would expect another potential. This is slightly broadening and marginally higher high there, so I would expect a little bit of a sell-off again. Whether it's going to make 11.3s again, I don't know, but I think we've got a little bit of an M coming here, and we've got a down leg, and then round about there, I think that's going to be our next level low. So I am watching this baby. I am watching, and I already have a position in it. So you must bear in mind that emotionally I am already committed. Even no matter how good a trader you are, I see the bullish scenario now, and I'm committed to it. So do your own research. I just have to cut that call out. I've got to join in with my fund management team on the cryptos. I think I've got a call that's due, and we will be talking further. So just so that you have a final idea of what I think is possible, I think that's what I think is possible. Up to 20s. If you can pick her up at low 11s, you're going to be on 80, 85, possibly a tad more percent to come. And there's possibility of overperformance as a big setup. That's it from me. Long clip. Be cool, play nice. Let's have a constructive community. And if you want, if you want timeous and you want real attention, there is a premium option for that. And this is what goes on our boards. And this is where we share our charts. I hope you enjoy that, and speak to you all soon. Trade small. Be very careful if you involve leverage. I would advise against.